Made man here. Y'all know how I get down. We talking boxing, man. So, highly anticipated fight coming up for March 16th on Showtime pay-per-view. We got Mikey Garcia versus Errol Spence Jr., a fight that a lot of people didn't know if it was going to come to fruition. I had my doubts as well, but it looks like it's going down. Both fighters are now in training camp, and yeah, man, it's happening. We know Mikey Garcia coming up 2 weight classes to take on the hard-hitting Errol Spence Jr., a fighter that nobody in welterweight really wanted to have no smoke with. You know, Errol Spence Jr. has been searching high and low, calling out names from every rooftop, and he can't get none of the top guys at welterweight to step in the ring with him. So it takes Mikey Garcia, a hell of a fighter, dynamic fighter, showing a lot of heart to come up 2 weight classes and to take on the hard-hitting Errol Spence Jr., the IBF champion at welterweight. Now, we see pictures going around about Mikey Garcia. The pictures are out now where it looks like he's bulking up in weight. Before his training camp had started, we seen Mikey Garcia scarfing down burgers, salads, milkshakes, everything under the sun, you know, to get that weight on him. And now he's looking like he's trying to translate a lot of that fat that he incorporated into a lot of hard muscle. And to do that, he is training at the facilities with Victor Conti. Victor Conti has a program called Snack, in which he supplies vitamins and supplements of some sort to help fighters to gain strength and conditioning the proper way, and also to do it in a safe way, at least according to Victor Conti. Now, full disclosure, for those who don't know, Victor Conti does have a checkered past in which, you know, he got caught up in scandals, even served some jail time for providing performing enhancing drugs to athletes. But however, that's back in the day. Now Victor Conti supposedly has a very good working relationship with VADA, the voluntary anti-doping agency, in which he is now supposedly like this VADA enforcer. Whenever he sees a lot of his fighters that he works with, they're not their opponents, if they're resisting VADA or anything like that, it's Victor Conti who comes out on social media firsthand like, yo, man, this guy ain't using VADA. That guy ain't using VADA. You know what I mean? And it was also Victor Conti who, you know, before it was VADA was introduced into this fight, which it now is. But before VADA was introduced in this fight, it was Victor Conti coming out like, yo, my guy Mikey Garcia is pushing for VADA testing, but it's the Errol Spence Jr. side who isn't. And now we see now both fighters, for those who haven't heard, are now will be enrolling in VADA for this particular fight. So that's something that's all we all should, you know, good to hear. Now, according for the VADA testing, though, that's going down in this fight, it seems as if it's going to start on January 5th, and it's going to last for a 10-week period. And it got some people raising their eyebrows. Some people are saying that, yo, why are they waiting so closer to the fight? And then how come the exact date is known? Because it's not random. Now, this is not part of the Clean Boxer program version of VADA, where it's random and you don't know when it's happening. This is just VADA being contracted for this particular fight. You know what I mean? So, you know, that's the way it's going down. So, of course, when it goes down that way, more than likely, everybody usually knows when the testing is going to start. So I don't think there's no surprises there, and I don't think there's no ill will there, at least not from my side of things, you know. According to Mikey Garcia, we're making sure that everybody knows that and I quote, we're making sure that everybody knows that we're clean fighters and that neither one of us is using anything illegal, end quote. So that's good, man, because like I said, Victor Conti, who had put this out in the air earlier on in the buildup of this fight, trying to claim that Errol Spence Jr. was resisting VADA testing. Well, it's good to see that it's actually going down like that. According to Mikey Garcia, and I quote, we felt that the best way to do this was to incorporate VADA testing. So let's show everybody that we're clean and that we're not doing anything illegal, you know, end quote. So for those who don't know, Mikey Garcia, once again, is training doing strength and conditioning training under the tutelage of Victor Conti at his Snack facilities, where basically he is not training with Robert Garcia at this current time. According to Mikey Garcia, he'll wrap up the second half of his training camp doing the normal things that he normally does under Robert Garcia, working more so on game plan and hitting the mitts and things like that. But as for now, he's doing a month under Victor Conti. Now, and see, another thing that people got to keep in mind is the fact that this ain't like people trying to act like that Mikey is just getting with Victor Conti. Mikey been down with Victor Conti for years. Shit, the entire Robert Garcia boxing academy been down with Victor Conti for years. You know, it just, According to Mikey, they've been working in and out with each other for 3 years. It's just that this is the first time that Mikey has actually put part of his training camp in the snack facilities. But Victor Conti has always been supplying Mikey Garcia with supplements and things like that for strength and conditioning for years. So this ain't their first rodeo together. So for people acting like, oh, he's just getting with Victor Conti to bulk up for Errol Spence Jr., well, that can't be far from the truth. But this is the first time that Mikey actually went to the facility and trained and did everything he had to do at a separate facility other than with his brother, Robbie Garcia. So let's just put that out there, man. What people are saying, because, the VADA testing is going to start on January 5th, if I'm not mistaken, January 5th. But, this testing is going to be happening while Mikey Garcia is working with Victor Conti, because he's trying to do a good month, at least according to Mikey Garcia. And Mikey Garcia says about that particular month, and I quote, he says, I'm building my strength, speed, and endurance here at Snack. And then when I head back to Riverside, I'll do my sparring and my entire traditional training. We got here on December 18th, and we'll be heading back on January 19th. So it's going to be a full month of work here. And then Victor also gives me guidelines on routines that will allow me to incorporate and continue once I get home, end quote. So if the VADA testing is scheduled to start on January 5th, and he is not leaving the snack facilities and training under Victor Conti for strength and conditioning until January 19th. That gives about 2 weeks where VADA can institute testing. So if anybody believe that Victor Conti is doing any sort of foul things, well, he'll still be at that facility, training under that facility for 2 whole weeks while VADA is testing him. You know what I'm saying? So that's all good news to know. Because it just you want everybody to be on a level playing field, man. Even if you believe that the testing is too close to the fight, because some fighters do start testing 12 to 14 weeks out. And when VADA's doing their clean boxer program, we know it's random, it's happening all year round. But, hey, look, at least we got VADA testing in this fight. At least there's clarity to know that both men will be tested by VADA for all those who have their doubts even about Errol Spence Jr. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know how that talk go. So it's always good to know that at least testing is going to be incorporated in this particular situation. Now, the question is, though, man, now with Mikey bulking up the way he's doing, because y'all see the pictures going around, my man look like a swole up kangaroo. He reminds me of that kangaroo from Streets of Rage 3. You know what I mean? So it's like, with Mikey bulking up the way he do, you know what I mean? How will this incorporate into the fight, in your opinion, in my opinion? And I think that, Mikey is training definitely for punch resistance, because he's going up against a bigger fighter that can punch, not to mention a bigger fighter with a hell of an engine, and a bigger fighter that's going to be trying to hit him to the body very, very consistently. So, of course, for Errol Spence Jr. and Mikey Garcia putting on this muscle the way he is going to need to do that mainly for punch resistance. Now, of course, he may be gaining one benefit there, but of course, with adding more muscle eats up more oxygen. Will Mikey Garcia run out of gas before the 12 rounds are completed? Will that hurt Mikey Garcia on the second half of a fight? And that's an honest question to ask. And I don't know, because I would say for most fighters, absolutely. But Mikey is not a busy fighter. You know what I mean? Mikey is not the kind of dude who swings punches and bunches. He's the kind of fighter that judges distance very well. He lets his hands go in educated times throughout the fight. And these are the things that Mikey, that's just the reason you never really see him getting tired in fights, because, he's not the dude that's looking to go in there and out punch you or out swing you. He is looking to land efficiently and with timing and at certain times. You know what I mean? He'll let you put in a high workload and then just pick his shots wisely and know exactly when to get in and get out. That's the style of fighter that Mikey Garcia has normally always been. I mean, if you watch the fight between him and Adrian Broner was moving and trying his best to stay away from Mikey Garcia, constantly flicking out a jab, moving. And Mikey just remained calm, remained patient, remained educated, and he went in and did what he had to do. It's the same way, even in the fights where he gets stoppages. He stops a lot of these fighters because, in a way, he kind of incorporates Aikido, in which the dude just like use your workload against you. He's judging the distance. He's standing right on the outside of your punches. But on top of that, he's judging distance, and he knows exactly when to get in and exactly when to get out. Now, as for Errol Spence Jr., he has a high workload. And Earl likes to throw a lot of punches. Earl likes to double up the jab a lot and then, of course, hit you downstairs. But the thing is, Earl is very educated too. He has a engine on his ass, bruh. Like, yo, Earl is the type of dude, he comes into these fights shredded in tip-top condition and looks like he's always damn to go 24 rounds other than just 12. And he rarely gets tired. I mean, we don't see Errol Spence Jr. mainly tiring out in the fight. You look at it when he fought Kell Brook. He had to put a hell of a workload on Kell Brook because, the early portion of that fight, Kell Brook was having successes with the pull counter. You know what I mean? But even towards the second half of that fight, it was Errol Spence that just kept his foot on the gas, kept on coming, kept on staying consistent. Eventually, he injured and hurt Kell Brook, and eventually he stopped Kell Brook. And Kell Brook was the one wheezing damn hard towards the end of that fight. You know what I'm saying? But at that point, Kell Brook took a lot of damage because the eye went, and, it is what it is. But the fact is, man, Errol Spence Jr. didn't show no signs of slowing down. I think I've ever seen Errol Spence Jr. show signs of slowing down. So, I don't know, man. Maybe if Mikey Garcia looking to use Errol Spence Jr.'s workload against him, man, that's a hard feat, man. And Earl's going to be landing a lot throughout of that fight. So, by the smart money, by most people consensus, Mikey Garcia is not going to be able to take the workload and the damage that Errol Spence Jr. is going to look to give out. But looking at Mikey's newfound frame, he's bulking up in muscle and he's looking to go for punch resistance. Can Mikey's skills and his skill set sustain him through 12 rounds of this fight? And that, to me, is the golden question. Mikey Garcia says he sees something. We don't know what it is that he sees. According to Robert Garcia, his brother, the thing that really solidified him was the Kell Brook fight and, of course, the Lamont Peterson fight. Now, I can understand what he may have seen in the Kell Brook fight, given that Kell had minor successes in that fight. But I don't know what the hell he's seen in the Lamont Peterson fight. You know what I mean? Because Earl pretty much dominated Lamont Peterson. So I have no idea what Mikey Garcia possibly seen in that fight. Some people are alluding to it could be that Earl doesn't fight nearly as well going backwards, and maybe he feels as though he can push Earl backwards. Some people are alluding to that Earl can be countered and his head movement is nearly not as good. Maybe that's the thing that Mikey Garcia sees. We don't know because Mikey has been keeping that secret G14 classified as he should. You know what I'm saying? And let it play out on fight night. So it's turning out to be real intriguing here, man. You know what I mean? Mikey Garcia bulking up. The question also is, by Mikey bulking up in this much muscle, it's going to slow him down, but he's never been the most fastest fighter out there. He's more of a timing fighter than a speed fighter. But that muscle is going to eat up that oxygen. And how will that play in if Mikey Garcia starts to tire out? Yeah, like I told you earlier, he doesn't have a high workload, but still he's bulking up in muscle, and he's never had this much muscle going into a fight. Will this muscle suck up enough oxygen, suck up enough energy out of Mikey Garcia where he's not nearly the same fighter that he always is in fights? And if he fatigues, will his skill level starts to decline? These are unanswered questions, as I guess we'll find out on fight night. But yeah, man, Mikey Garcia's new frame looking hawkish going around, man. People gonna be like, yo, man, Victor giving them snacks. You hear me? He giving them that Mexican meat snack. You know what I mean? Nah, man, I don't know, man. All I know is I'm happy the fact that VADA testing is still going to be going down while Mikey Garcia is also doing his strength and conditioning training at the snack facilities. You know what I mean? So that can, maybe have some people rest assured, but, that's the best, I guess, that they can come up with, given that they only testing 10 weeks out from the fight. You know what I mean? So I'm expecting for Errol Spence Jr. to come into this fight tip-top condition, ready to go, full engine. A lot of fight fans saying that Earl has to stop Mikey so Mikey won't be trying to claim any sort of success in this fight, and there won't be much criticism on Errol Spence Jr. Now, a lot of people are alluding to the fact if Mikey goes 12 and he shines at a lot of portions of this fight, will this be a moral victory for Mikey Garcia? Man, we ain't trying to hear that bullshit. If Mikey go in here and he gets stomped on, it is what it is. Now, should Earl stop Mikey Garcia coming up 2 weight classes? He should. He should. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to sit back and act like he's fighting a bum. Mikey Garcia is educated in the ring. And sometimes he knows, and he possibly knows how to survive, even though he's facing a bigger man. You know what I mean? So surviving to me is not always victory. I mean, Earl can win, 9 out of 12 rounds, and Mikey just survived. And if he make it to the 12, that's a moral victory for Mikey Garcia? Nah. If Mikey wants any sort of victory for me, he got to beat Earl Spence Jr., period. All this moral victory crap, oh, he survived, Earl didn't stop him. Styles make fights, y'all. Styles make fights. And Mikey is a high pedigree fighter. At the end of the day, he may just know how to survive. So I'm not buying into all that moral shit. You know what I mean? If he make it 12 rounds, is that a victory for Mikey Garcia? No, because that's just ammunition for people who like to just criticize Errol Spence Jr. That ain't what I do. You know what I mean? Now, my thing is this. If Mikey shines for 7, 8 rounds, and if he beats Errol Spence Jr. on the cards, that's a different conversation. You know what I mean? That's an entirely different conversation. Now, so we'll see, man. Smart money is on Errol Spence Jr. I don't care how much bulking up Mikey Garcia is doing. There's pros and cons to bulking up, especially doing it so fast. Victor Conte seems to be running a so far so good clean program over there in Snack, even though the Willie Monroe news came out. According to Victor Conte, Willie Monroe was in New York when that happened, and he wasn't at his facilities, but whatever the fuck. You know what I mean? So, I mean, he's been running a clean program over there thus far because, shit, like half of boxing rocks with Victor Conte in that Snack program. So, it is what it is, man, including Andrade and amongst other fighters, So, we'll see, man. We'll see. All I know is, at the end of the day, VADA is going to be in this fight. And Mikey's bulking up like this. It can have its pros. It can have its cons. But at the end of the day, Mikey's going to be relying heavily on his skill set. The bulking up is just a tool to be able to take or withstand some of the punishment that Errol Spence Jr. might give. So I'll leave it right there, man. To the next video, Main Man Made Man. Don't forget to subscribe. Twitter, Made Man 511. Facebook, Main Man Made Man Boxing Forum. Google Plus, Main Man Made Man. We looking forward to this, man. Like I said, a lot of us didn't think it was going to happen. It was going to come to fruition. We thought Mikey was just yapping. You're just talking up Errol Spence Jr. name to raise his profile. A lot of people accuse Mikey of that. Mikey is now showing hot, and he's actually getting it. He's actually undertaking this incredible task. Truth be told, incredible task. If Mikey goes in here and gets this victory, ladies and gentlemen, we are definitely talking top 3 pound for pound. Some may even say number 1. I'll have to review that, but definitely top 3. So to the next video, don't forget to subscribe.